Hello everybody, and happy Pi Day, March 14th, 2017. Today we are continuing our descriptive statistics unit, and we're talking about mean, median, and mode. Hopefully you have heard of these tres amigos before, and our objective for today is students will be able to determine the mean, the median, and the mode from a data set. Make sure you have down the objective for today. So the three M's, mean, median, and mode. I want to activate your prior knowledge just by talking about the average. So if I talk about the average of something, and I want to find the average for this set of numbers, notice I have four numbers, and my average, right, is if I just add all of these together and then divide by how many times that number appears. So 5 plus 8 plus 10 plus 12 gives me 35, and then I divide these values by 4 to give me 8.75. Therefore, my average is 8.75. In our prior knowledge, I would like you guys to go ahead, please calculate the average for this set of numbers. So pause the video now, calculate the average for this set of numbers. Okay, hopefully you have calculated the average for this set, these sets of numbers. And if you did it correctly, you got 4 plus 6 plus 7 plus 7. So 4 plus 6 plus 7 plus 7. Well, 4 plus 6 is 10. 7 plus 7 is 14, which would give you 28. And we have 4 of these numbers. So 28 divided by 4, that is 7. We do the same thing here. So 4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10. And I have 4 of those guys, so 10. Plus 10 is 20, plus 28, divided by the 4 numbers that we have, and this again gives us 7. So you should have gotten 7 for your average for both of these. Alright, so we are talking about the three M's today. Mean. The first M we're going to talk about is the mean, and that is just the average. If you add up all the numbers and then divide by how many numbers there are, this is the mean. And that's what statisticians call the average, the mean. The median, another way to kind of measure the center of a data set, the median. This is, if we put all the numbers in order from least to greatest, this will be the middle number. So median is the middle number. And the way I think about this is if you're driving down the highway or the freeway, right, there's a median. It kind of divides the highway. That's the middle number. If there is no middle value, so say you have like a even data set, what you do is you take the average of the two middle numbers, and that is your new median. The final measure of center that we're going to talk about is mode. And mode is the number that shows up the most. So mode is the most often. Please make sure you have all of these kind of things, these notes in your notes. Oh, and I'm sorry, the last part. If there are no numbers repeated, there is no mode. Another thing I should ask too is if you have multiple numbers that are repeated the same amount, there can be multiple modes. That is possible as well. Okay, and when we start all these problems, we're always going to rewrite the list of numbers from least to greatest. So make sure we do these things this first, right? Just like yesterday when we were calculating our dot plots and our histograms, we are going to calculate the data set from least to greatest. So for the first part of the lesson, we are going to go ahead and calculate the mean, the median, and the mode for the following data set of numbers. Notice this is an I do, so please don't write down this one in your notes. Just go ahead and listen. I have my values, and I first want to rewrite from least to greatest. That's always step one. So now I've reshuffled my numbers, and I have them all in order. The mean, this is just the average. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up all of these values, and then I'm going to divide by how many data points there are. So if there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers, I'm going to divide by 8. So 432 divided by 8 gives me 54. That's the average of this data set. The median, that's the middle number. So remember I said if there is no middle number, what we do is we take the middle two numbers and we divide by 2. So I have 8 numbers, And since it's even, there's going to be 4 on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 on the side, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have my two middle numbers. I'm going to add them, 53 plus 55, and I'm going to divide by 2. 108 divided by 2 is 54. So notice the mean and the median are exactly the same. They're exactly the same. And then mode, that's the number that appears the most. So 51 appears twice, 57 appears twice, so those are both my mode. Kind of a look at the unique cases here. So we're going to go ahead and do this problem together. 7 people were surveyed about the cost of their shoes, and they reported the following data. One person paid $14, one $23, someone paid $81, someone paid $15, a couple people paid $2 and $1. So there's some cheap chonkalas, and $15. So let's go ahead and calculate our mean. So step 1, always rewrite from least to greatest. So 1, 2, the next lowest one is, I guess 2 is 15. 15. Oh, I messed up. I have 14 first. 14. And 15 here. 23. And 81. So here's my numbers in order, and I want to calculate the mean. So I'm going to add up all of these values and divide by the 7. So if we add these up, let's go ahead and get out our calculators. 1 plus 2 plus 14 plus 15 plus 15 plus 23 plus 81 should give you 151. And we're going to divide that value by 7. And this gives us approximately 21.6. Our median, this is the middle value. So since I have 7 numbers, I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 on this side, 1, 2, 3 on this side, and this is my median, 15. And we're going to calculate the mode lastly. So the mode is the number that appears the most, which is also 15. 15 appears twice. So we always want to kind of connect our middle interpretation to the context. So what does the mean, the median, and the mode represent in this context? Well, the average amount that these 7 people paid for shoes, because we're talking about the cost of shoes, was $21.6. The median, the middle value of that people paid, were $15, and mode, the most frequent amount paid for shoes, was also $15. Can you guys go ahead and do this problem on your own? Pause the video and try this one. Okay, hopefully you have tried this one on your own. Step 1 is to recalculate this list of these 7 people who were surveyed about the amount of gaming hours in 2 weeks and reorder it from least to greatest. If I want to calculate the mean, I add up all of these values and then I divide by 7. And that gives me 40.57. The median's the middle number, and that is 43. 3 on this side, 3 on this side. And the mode is also 43. So 43 appears the most. What does this mean in terms of context? Well, again, we're talking about people playing video games in 2 weeks, how many hours they do, and that would correspond to it. It's like a full-time job. Okay, now we have a dot plot, and we're asked the mean, the median, and the mode. Median and mode are more simple here to calculate in these problems because we can just interpret the dots. So mode, that's the most appearing data point, and that would easily be 7, correct? It appears 1, 2, 3 times. Median is the middle value, and the quick way we can do this is just by crossing off the values on each side. Right? So until we come up with the middle value. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 12 people. So I have 2 middle values, correct? It's even. I'm going to add these 2 values. So 5 plus 7 and I'm going to divide by 2. So that is 12 divided by 2, which is 6. So my median is 6, and now we want to calculate the mean. Well, how I do this is we're just going to have to take all of these data points and then add them together. So I have 2, I have 3, I have 4, I have 4, 5, and 5. I'm going to continue it down here, 7, and 7. And then I have 8. Here's twice, and 9. So I have 12 data points, and to calculate the mean, I'm going to add up all those values and then divide by 12. So 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 5 plus 7 plus 7 plus 7 plus 8 plus 8 plus 9 gives us 69. And I divide that by 12, giving me 5.75. So I have all of these values. And again, we want to connect this to context. What do these values represent in context? Well, we're talking about 12 people who were surveyed about how many slices of pizza they can eat in one sitting. So the average amount of slices people can eat, 5.75 slices. I hope these are small slices. The median amount of slices is 6, so that's the middle value, and the most frequent amount of pizza slices people eat are 7. Isn't this kind of convenient for Pi Day? Alright, and the final problem that you are going to go ahead and do, this should say you do, is this one here. It says 13 people were surveyed about the age of their parents. So here are the ages of 13 people. Please go ahead, pause the video, and try this one on your own. Hopefully, if you tried this problem on your own, you got a mean of 51.62. 51.62. And that is got from getting roughly 571 and dividing by the 13 people. The median is 52, so the median value, middle value, is 52. And mode. Well, there are 3 values that appear the same amount of time. That's 48, 50, and 53. So those would be our median. Okay. So what does the mean represent from context? That is our closure. So in context, mean just represents the average, or kind of what, on average, the most common thing to happen. So if we're talking about pizza slices, if the mean value for amount of pizza slices eaten was 5.75, then that means on average someone probably ate about 5.75 slices. That's the average. Okay. Don't forget, like my video and subscribe. Schwarberg is out.